In spite of his banishment, the Nature Boy Ric Flair continued getting involved in WCW matters concerning World Heavyweight Champion Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man Randy Savage. With increasing frustration, Hogan and Savage lobbied WCW executives to reinstate Flair, and for him to end his brief retirement. Meanwhile, Vader had been on a rampage, attacking any and everyone, ultimately, resulting in him being stripped of the US title. However, Hogan and Savage lobbied on his behalf as well, keeping him from being suspended. Everyone gets their wish as the match is set for Hogan and Savage to take on Vader and Flair at Slamboree, while other conflicts continue, such as Sting and Big Bubba Rogers and the Nasty Boys against World Tag Team Championship. Arn Anderson puts the WCW television title on the line against Alex Wright, and the Great Muta returns from Japan to defend the IWGP Heavyweight title versus Paul Orndorff. Road Warrior Hawk also makes a WCW return against Meng, Kevin Sullivan in singles action, and in Slamboree tradition, Wahoo McDaniel and Dick Murdoch square off in a Legends match. The Nasty Boys faced Harlem Heat, Booker T and Stevie Ray, in the opening bout of the pay-per-view for the WCW World Tag Team Championships. After Knobbs was injured earlier on the main event, Sags started the contest alone before being joined by his partner. Sags ultimately secured the pinfall after performing a running power slam on Booker T to win the titles. The Blue Bloods appear in the doorway after the bout, glaring at the new title holders. In the subsequent contest, Kevin Sullivan pinned the man with no name after using the Tree of Woe to win. A stranger popped up on the screen after the game, telling Sullivan they needed to talk about Hulkamania. Sullivan then made his way out of the arena among the spectators. The pay-per-view broadcast of the Legends match between Wahoo McDaniel and Dick Murdoch would be in black and white. Dick responds with elbows and shoulders after Wahoo catches Murdoch with a few unexpected arm drags. Additionally, he concentrates on McDaniel's arm until Wahoo cuts him. They then exchange punches and elbows until Wahoo takes a wrist lock. He also drives Dick into the corner and chops him again. This angers Dick, so he retaliates with elbows and stomps. He also knees Wahoo in the back, driving him into the mat. It's insufficient. Murdoch keeps up his assault until McDaniel whips him into the ropes and delivers a throat chop to win. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff challenges the Great Muta for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship in the next match. They exchange mat holds, and Muta uses his quickness to get away. He then kicks Orndorff in surprise before they go back to the mat. Paul targets Muta's arm with his assault, but he misses an elbow. Muta follows up with a dropkick and a snap elbow drop before placing him in more holds. Orndorff eventually backsupplies Muta and chinlocks him to wear him down. He also stops Muta from trying to make a comeback until Muta turns a pile driver into a backdrop. Muta follows this up with a bulldog and a handspring elbow. He then performs a moonsault and a backbreaker to secure the victory. In the next match, Arn Anderson defends the WCW television title against young Alex Wright. Alex fakes Arn out with backflips and surprises him with arm drags. Nevertheless, he keeps going back to a headlock. Arn attempts to rally several times, but Wright goes back to the dependable hold. Anderson then tries an enziguri. He misses, and Alex places him in an STF. After reaching the ropes and regrouping, Wright catches him with a slingshot crossbody and a baseball slide. The contest turns into a floor brawl until Arn hits the post while attempting a clothesline. Wright takes advantage by hitting the wounded arm until Arn pushes him into a corner. He then delivers the spinebuster to Alex and drives him into the bottom rope. Arn then attempts a figure four. Alex obstructs it. Wright executes a missile drop kick, a suplex, and a wheel kick. He even comes close to falling a couple of times. Sadly, Arn tricks him with a punch and wins with a DDT. Road Warrior Hawk is back in World Championship Wrestling to challenge Meng in the next contest. The two guys exchange chops and punches. Meng then delivers a piledriver to Hawk, but Hawk no-sells it as usual. However, Hawk hits the post during a failed corner charge. He drops to the ground, and Parker assaults him. Meng also hits him with the post once more. He follows that up with a throat chop, preventing Hawk from responding. Hawk finally counters with a shoulder tackle and a clothesline. He attempts to execute a flying splash, but he misses and falls to the ground. Meng joins him in a brawl, but the referee counts them both out but continue brawling after the bell. Next, the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. This year's inductees would be Wahoo McDaniel, Terry Funk, Angelo Poffo, Antonio Inoki, Big John Studd, posthumously, and the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. The rivalry between Big Bubba Rogers and Sting continued in the next bout. Sting gains the upper hand early on and forces Bubba to regroup. He tries to choke Sting with his tie, but Sting hits him with a dropkick. Bubba then strikes him in the face, and they wrestle to the ground. He slams Sting into the steps and prepares a table. But it backfires. Sting hits him with it. He attempts again after moving the table, but Bubba powders Sting's eyes. Bubba places the table in the corner as the battle returns to the ring. He then slams Sting into it and attempts a pile driver, but Sting backdrops him. Sting then throws Bubba into the table, but he crashes after failing to execute a Stinger splash. Bubba retaliates by whipping Sting with a belt and performing the Boss Man Slam on him. Bubba goes to the top as Sting kicks out. Sting hits him hard and delivers a flying splash. He then places the table on Bubba and stomps it. Bubba is also subjected to the Scorpion Deathlock by Sting, which is sufficient for the victory. And in the main event, Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage take on the team of Ric Flair and Vader. Before the match began, an enormous figure appears from behind the curtain and catches the attention of Hogan and Savage before being escorted out. Hogan and Vader exchange punches until Hogan knocks him to the mat. Savage hits him with an axe handle, and then he and Hogan double-team Vader. Then, Flair and Savage end up in the ring and manage to take control without tagging. Ric flips and flops into the aisle as Savage whips him around. He keeps attempting to strike Hogan in the eyes, but Hogan is able to place Ric in a figure four. Anderson makes an effort to shatter it, and for some strange reason, Hogan rolls him up. Flair, though, takes advantage of the situation to strike Hogan's leg and the large figure emerges for the second time. Vader takes control and punishes Hogan for not responding to his suplex. He uses a Vader bomb on him after 2 avalanche assaults. He even attempts a top rope version, but Hogan shifts. Flair loses control as soon as she enters the contest. Savage bounces Ric off the ropes and hits him with the flying elbow. Anderson, however, breaks the pin. Renegade comes to Randy's aid as Vader assaults him. Savage rallies as Hogan halts the pin try. He ultimately tags Hogan, who slams Vader after fending off Flair. He also kicks Ric hard, but Arn trips Hogan. Renegade pursues Arn, and the contest turns into a brawl. As Hogan hulks up in the ring, Vader and Savage brawl on the ground. Arn attempts to interfere once more, but this time he accidentally strikes Ric. This gives Hogan the opportunity to deliver the leg drop and win. While fireworks go off, the Monster Maniacs party in the ring. Flair and Vader have had enough and retaliate. While Flair attacks Savage, Vader looks after Hogan. Angelo Poffo must not remain inactive. He leaps over the guardrail and meets Ric. As Arnold Anderson restrains Poffo, Flair strikes him. Flair hammers Angelo and puts him in the figure four until Hogan and Savage intervene. Savage checks on his father as Flair and Vader exit. Once the dust settled with Big Bubba, Sting would find himself in the thick of the United States Championship Tournament chase, and the Renegade, poised to challenge Arn Anderson for the television title. Ric Flair and Randy Savage would begin a long series of one-on-one contests for the next several months beginning at the '95 Great American Bash, while Hulk Hogan defends the world title in a cage match at Bash at the Beach, with the evil Kevin Sullivan plotting his demise in the shadows.